It's 1945. The Third Reich is collapsing, the front lines crumbling faster than anyone can track. As the Soviet Red Army pushes into Poland, Nazi officers begin a frantic evacuation of everything they can't afford to lose: weapons, documents, scientists, and treasure. In the city of Breslau, something unusual happens. A heavily armored military train, sealed, guarded, no markings, rolls out under the cover of night. Witnesses later say it carried 300 tons of gold, priceless jewels, seized bank reserves from across Europe, and stolen art pulled from museums and private collections. Its destination? The Owl Mountains, a region hiding a top-secret Nazi construction project. Riese. Dozens of tunnels, some unfinished, some unknown, some so deep the Soviets never found the bottom. The train heads toward them and then disappears. No explosion, no wreckage, no surviving guards. Just absence. For decades, the story of the Wałbrzych Gold Train becomes a whisper passed from miner to miner, a rumor in taverns, a legend parents tell their children. A ghost story. But ghost stories have a way of returning to life when someone decides to start digging.
Fast forward to 2015. Two amateur treasure hunters, Piotr Koper and Andreas Richter, claim they've found something buried beside a lonely rail line outside Wałbrzych. A shape. A massive metallic signature, 100 meters long. Ground-penetrating radar doesn't lie, right? They release the blurry images to the press. The world loses its mind. This isn't just treasure. This is Nazi treasure. Instant lightning. The Polish deputy culture minister goes on national television and says he is 99% certain the train exists. 99%. Wałbrzych transforms overnight. A quiet mining town becomes the epicenter of the biggest treasure hunt since Tutankhamun's tomb. Hotels fill, souvenir shops appear, people sell t-shirts, mugs, even tiny fake gold bars. Everyone wants a piece. And if you're loving this deep dive into lost fortunes and dangerous legends, you know what time it is. Subscribe to MysteryBoard so you never miss the next hidden empire or vanished fortune. Because stories like this, they only get stranger.
Then reality knocks hard. Experts from Krakow's Academy of Mining arrive with high-precision survey gear, machines far more advanced than the equipment the treasure hunters used. They run tests, scan the ground, map the subsurface. What they find is not a train, not a tunnel, not even a cavity, just geological noise. A quirk in the rock. A thing that looks exciting if you want gold to exist, but collapses instantly under scientific scrutiny. Most people would stop. Cooper and Richter don't.
August 2016. Excavators tear into the hillside. Reporters gather. Treasure hunters watch from behind fences. Wałbrzych holds its breath. Every meter of dirt removed feels like a step closer to history. But the earth keeps giving them the same answer. More earth. No train, no tunnel, no tracks, no gold. Just silence, broken only by the sound of machines grinding away at an empty hillside. Eventually, officials shut the search down. False alarm, wrong reading. Legend confirmed as legend. Or maybe not. Because while the gold train didn't exist, something else did. A jackpot. Media analysts calculate the global attention Wałbrzych received. $200 million.
Free publicity, tourism explosion, hotels booked for months, a 44% surge in visitors. For a struggling mining town, this wasn't a treasure hunt. It was an economic miracle, a myth turned into money. And then, just when everyone thinks the story has finally burned out, the ashes move. A new group appears, Gold Train 2025. They claim they've located 3 buried wagons sealed inside a collapsed tunnel.
They say they've analyzed wartime documents, tunneling blueprints, eyewitness accounts, and even discrepancies in Soviet military maps. They secure limited permission for surface testing. Historians roll their eyes. Archaeologists sigh. Officials warn them not to get their hopes up. Why? Because no document, none, has ever confirmed the train's existence. Not a single authentic wartime report mentions it. Not a single recovered Nazi order references a gold shipment this size. To historians, the Gold Train is a fairy tale stitched together from confused eyewitness memories, end-of-war chaos, local folklore, and humanity's eternal desire to find treasure. But the group continues anyway, because sometimes chasing the legend is more powerful than the evidence.
But here's the part most people don't know, and where the story gets genuinely dangerous. Project Riese, the tunnel complex in the Owl Mountains, is still largely unexplored. Some sections are sealed, some are unstable, some were deliberately collapsed as the Nazis fled. Documents recovered after the war show that Riese wasn't just a bunker system. It was a vault, a storage center, a transport hub, a last-ditch hiding place for assets the Nazis didn't want the Allies to touch. We know something was hidden. We just don't know what. Gold, art, weapons, documents? The truth is locked behind mountains of rock and decades of secrecy. So when a train is said to have vanished into that maze, it's not hard to believe, because things did vanish in those tunnels, people included. After 70 years of searching, failed digs, radar anomalies, conspiracies, books, documentaries, and now a new 2025 expedition, one question remains. Did the Gold Train ever exist? Maybe not. Maybe the legend was a misunderstanding that grew into a myth. Or maybe the train arrived, the gold was unloaded, the evidence was destroyed, and whatever was hidden in those tunnels is still there, waiting. Because the Nazis didn't just hide treasure, they hid everything they thought could save their collapsing empire. Money, secrets, lives, power. If even a fraction of that remains underground, then the most valuable thing in this story isn't the gold, it's the truth. And the truth has a habit of outlasting everyone trying to bury it. Maybe the train was a ghost. Maybe it was real. But 70 years later, one fact is undeniable. The search never ends. Not for treasure, not for answers, not for the truth inside those mountains. And if the legends are right, then somewhere beneath the forests of Lower Silesia, an armored train sleeps in the dark, loaded, locked, waiting for someone bold enough or reckless enough to find it.